Definitely, definitely. Look, it's clear to me that you guys have a plan. Rebuilding is a means to an end, and you need players who are going to stick it out through both the good times and the bad. If you believe in me, I believe in you and what you're trying to do here. Look, we both just want to win, right?
Next question. This is a question we ask all our potential draftees, and I want you to answer it as honestly as possible. Where do you see your career going? What do you hope to achieve out of your career? Ultimately, what do you want your legacy to be?
Wow. Okay. So I want my career to go wherever it takes me, as cliche as that sounds. Ultimately, I want to be the best basketball player and best team player I can be. At the end of the day, that's really all I can ever ask out of myself. I want to be remembered as someone who gave 110% every time he set foot on the court.
That's great. Those answers were music to our ears. With any luck, you'll fall to us in the draft. Good game tonight. GM of the Magic here. We have the second pick in the draft, and I'm considering using it on you. I'd like to ask you a couple questions real quick if you don't mind. I feel like we have a really solid point guard in Jameer Nelson, but I would be remiss to not look at all available options in the draft. How do you think you compare to Jameer?
I think Jameer and I have a somewhat similar game. I'd like to think I have a much higher ceiling than him as far as talent goes. I'll tell you what I'm telling the other teams, man. You can't go wrong drafting me. I'm a worker. I give 100% night in and night out.
Interesting. Next question. The team that we've built here in Orlando was built to win it all. Unfortunately, we keep coming up short in that endeavor. Obviously, it's difficult to predict the future, but I expect to see a fair amount of turnover as we work towards retooling the roster for another run. How comfortable would you feel coming into a situation where the roster is in a state of flux?
It sounds to me like you're asking if I'm comfortable losing in the short term. Sure, I can handle that for a little while as I learn the NBA game. It's not the biggest motivator in the world, but if you're telling me that you guys have a master plan, I can definitely get on board with that as long as it doesn't hold my game back.
Thanks for your time. This gives us something to take back to the team. We'll see you on draft night.
Greetings. I'm the GM and Director of Player Personnel for the Washington Wizards. We have the third pick in the draft, and I'm considering using it on you. I'd like to ask you a couple questions real quick if you don't mind. Now, obviously, you play at arguably our strongest position in point guard. John Wall is our centerpiece, and who we're building this team around. Right now, our focus is to add talent and depth around him and see how far he can take us. Would you be comfortable not being the focus of a team, as we already have a franchise cornerstone?
Oh, yeah, that's not a problem. I can handle it. For me, I let the press and fans talk about who's the centerpiece and so on. All I want to do is put on an NBA jersey and go out and do everything I can to help my team get wins. If that happens to be in the shadow of a great player like John Wall, then I'm definitely fine with that.
Okay, last question. This question is more about how you feel about what we're doing here in Washington. We're a young and upcoming team that is gathering youth to make us more competitive. It's going to be a difficult process, and we can't expect to be a contender in year one. Are you prepared to deal with the highs and lows of an up-and-coming team?
Yeah, man, I think so, but it's hard to tell at this point. I'm really looking to advance my game, and it's never fun to be on the losing end of things, but ultimately, I think I'll get better from it. Maybe this is my chance to assert myself as a leader, and I would definitely welcome that challenge. Definitely.
Okay, I think we were able to get a good read into what you're all about. We'll be in touch.
Good evening and welcome to the 2013 NBA Draft. Tonight marks the realization of a dream for some of the best young players in the world, a reward for their many years of dedication and hard work. It's also a time of extraordinary hope and excitement for our fans and our teams. I know the young men hoping to hear their names called tonight just can't wait to join the NBA family. So let's get started. With the first pick in the 2013 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select the 19-year-old point guard from the University of Washington,